afternoon, and good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and CoffeeStream number 275. And we are back with a Friday guest day of epic proportions. We've got Mr. Ghastly Dope himself of the Whale Gang. How you doing there, my friend?
Man, 275. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shows, man. Nice work. I like the words epic proportions. That's a good description. I like that. How you doing today, Blind?
I'm good. I've got a bit of a cough, but other than that, I'm doing all right with this wacky Canadian weather. It's kind of unavoidable this time of year not to get a cough or a sniffle.
I just assume that all of Canada is like snow-covered woods. You know what I mean? It's just one big forest covered in snow. That's. Am I close? Am I close?
That's good proportion of it, but there are some cities. there are a few cities dotted here and there, and there are parts of Canada that are already covered in snow. Like the province just before us, Manitoba, got almost a foot of snow last week.
Jesus.
And we only got about an inch, and it melted already. So, there's your difference in
I don't believe
Canadian
it. The whole
geography.
thing's the tundra.
The whole thing. Yeah. Oh, we've got a fright power and an all-hail blue whale from Duck Dog. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, hold up. Can you hear me?
I can hear
breaking
you.
up on this end. Okay, maybe it's mine. Let me take
no, StreamYard sometimes does annoying.
I haven't used. I've seen some people using this this service, but I haven't used it before. It looks good. It looks good on streams the way it separates the tiles out. But
I like using it. I like using it, and I don't like using it. I like it because it's easy to use with my screen reader.
Right. Yeah.
I was having a lot of trouble with OBS because it would randomly stop capturing my screen.
Oh, that's
and weird. Because of the way VoiceOver and OBS work together, I can't access the properties button to just quickly click and recapture the window. So there would be no way for me to fix it if it suddenly, crapped out on me.
Right. I gotcha.
So I've just started using StreamYard.
Oh, you mean the people watching the show wouldn't be able to see something for a minute? Maybe they should get used to dealing with things the way you have to fucking deal with them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Making special exception for these ableist pieces of shit out here, man.
So true. Oh, man.
Okay, so I'm just getting started on the yelling this morning. Hold on, take a drink.
No worries. So how have you been doing, my friend?
I've been okay, man. It's been a extremely busy couple of months. And you might know already, since we wrapped up season 0 of the show. Now, the plan, at least, is to make a realistic pitch to try to go to a better platform. And, so I've been working with an agent and trying to make all these things happen. And I have all this material prepped and all this to go through that process. But now I'm having to wait because the places that we're supposed to be going are either on fire or don't have any fucking power. So I'm waiting around essentially for PG&E to turn everybody's fucking power back on so that I
can... great.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I made this whole huge deal to the audience about, hey man, I'm supposed to go to Los Angeles at the end of October. I need to put this dough together for plane ticket, hotel, all this blah blah blah. They came through like a motherfucker and put that dough together. Now I have to just put it aside and wait because everything's on. I can't go. It's on fire. Nobody has any power, man.
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit stalled. at the moment, unfortunately, due to natural disasters. But luckily, like I say, the fan base came through and helped me finance that situation, so I can just kind of sit on that and wait. Unfortunately, I don't know if you could tell by my personality, I'm not very good with the waiting around
Waiting
for stuff.
sucks.
Yeah, but
Fuck waiting.
my hand is kind of forced for the time being. So I just have been in kind of a preparatory stage of all different types of material, including what we call a pitch Bible, which is a very important document in this process. And obviously the writing, that's an endless cycle. And then on top of that, just trying to keep everything going on the front end here on YouTube's not only obviously continue to do the Fry Power Hour, but now doing the AAA meeting as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty busy streaming schedule on the front end and an extremely busy writing schedule on the back end. So between those two things and now being fucking awake at the crack of noon to see whatever this goddamn bright thing in the sky is, man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing up this early, but I mean, here we are.
Yeah, it's unfortunately with having little kids, it's hard to stream with because my natural inclination, even as a young child, was to be up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Even with kids, I still don't do well with the go to bed early, get up early thing.
Oh, it's tough.
It's so but right now it's the only time I can do my stream because they're in school and
right
able to, because you don't want to be that bad mom on the internet, right? Quiet, yeah. I'm streaming.
Oh, I've seen it too. Get out of here, you little motherfuckers! I'm trying to talk to my friends. Yeah,
that's not how I'm gonna know.
Oh, that's outstanding. Yeah, it's and not only that, but these days trying to get a stream in during a time where there's not 47 other streams on.
No kidding.
That's a little tough to come by, man. I'm still trying to do Saturdays. I must be out of my goddamn mind here. What I mean?
But see, I like the way that you've because I've always liked the Gulf City streams and everything. But the Fright Power Hour is really well put together. And I really like those the preacher moment, the preacher scenes that you do, the sermons. Yeah, those are awesome. I love those. Those are great. And a Minimope. I still love saying that name.
I know, what a great name, right? And I love all that stuff because so much of it is just actual historical research. So writing those sermons is a combination of one of the things that I enjoy very much, which of course is making fun of Joel Osteen.
Yeah,
that works out for me on a general basis. So that's where all of this kind of voice, you allow it to have that real kind of breathy context. You could get up and it could happen to you. That's all Joel Osteen shit. And then you mix that with a little of kind of old school fire and brimstone Catholicism preaching, and then use that with my actual research, all the Egypt shit and all that. That's all, you can look all that up. That's all real. So you keep the what, right? You just change the why. And really, I think that's how people founded religions in the first place. They go, okay, well, here's these things that actually did happen. But if we put this context as to why they happened, well, shit, now you can tell people you can only eat fish on Friday or no premarital sex. You can make up whatever fucking rules you want. Tell them God said so. That seems to work. Yeah. Now, I'm not here to destroy my own religion at the crack of noon today, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I'm not here to accidentally reveal what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God, I just looked in the chat. Your Nightbot message says donate to help my eyes grow back and replace these ping pong balls.
Yes, I know.
Hilarious.
And the best part is Pincalo set Nightbot up, and I didn't even know what he put as the messages until I was streaming the next day, and I was reading chat, and I saw Nightbot's message, and I just started dying.
That's hilarious, man. That's a good one. I gotta say, dude, even after all this time, it really still sticks out in my brain. I can't even remember. It might have been this show. Even it was me and you and Guttenberg.
No, it was on when you were doing the 3 times a week. Me and Pincalo showed up on your guys' show.
Was that? Yeah, I think I was still doing Fry Power during the week then, maybe at that time. Yeah. And just you showed us the video with them replacing the prosthetic. I mean, that it was just mind blowing to me. We got to talk about how the optic nerve is the missing component, and then being able to do I don't know if transplant would be the right word there. But I just thought it was such a hell of an interesting story, man. It really has stuck out to me after all this time. You know what I mean?
I need to go do an updated video of an eye cleaning. I need to go and get my eyes cleaned
Oh
soon.
my God.
That's fun. They actually, you know those big buffing wheels they use for acrylics? That's literally what they do to your eyeballs.
Oh, wow.
They take them out of your head. They clean them in a solution to get all the grody crap off of them.
Wow.
I mean, they polish them on a big buffing wheel.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, do they really get a lot of debris? You know what I mean?
There's just the daily dust that you're exposed to, or a lot of people with prosthetic, like I get eye infections sometimes.
Oh yeah. Do your tear? I'm sorry if this is offensive. Do your tear ducts work correctly? Like, do they flush out? So that helps some. I'm sure.
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
There are some blind people who have to use artificial tear, like
saline or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, man. If you come up with a fucking cleaning video on that, I mean, I'll be the first like on that fucking video for sure, dude.
Yeah, and the guy who does them is really good about us filming.
Very cool, man.
He's cool. Really good about it, So it's kind of cool to get that.
Yeah, man, for sure. Wow. All right, hold on. I'm gonna try to smoke 17 bowls real quick too, man.
Oh, that sounds like
I just got out of bed. Hold on.
Oh, Pincalo says, fun fact, if you ever want to see what it looks like, if you're a smoker,
I am.
You should look like a cigarette smoker. You should look behind the prosthetics of someone who smokes.
Hey, don't confront me with the damage I voluntarily do to myself on a daily basis.
I still smoked for 5 years after my freaking ocularist took the eyes out of my head and was like, "You're smoking, aren't you?"
Can't hide it now. It's inside the fucking prosthetic, man.
Well, because I was we smoked inside, and everything was covered in nicotine stains, and it was the ocularist was like, "Yeah, I can tell you're smoking just by looking at these freaking the nicotine all over your eyes."
No kidding.
I'm like, "Oh, that's gross. I need a cigarette."
Yeah. Let me take 5 here real quick, Doc, and then we'll get to the whole whatever it was you were talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I don't smoke. I smoke weed in the house, but I don't smoke cigarettes in the house. It's like you say, that smell and that film sticks around way worse than weed does.
Well, when Pincalo and I moved out of that particular house, we stopped smoking inside. We smoked outside except for weed. We smoked like you. We smoked.
Sure, yeah.
But and even after we quit smoking cigarettes, our friends always smoked outside.
Yeah. Well, and there's There's alternate reasons for it as well. You know, I'm around a fairly large amount of computer equipment
Mm,
all the time, you know, and it's bad enough that I smoke weed around it, but I definitely don't want to smoke cigarettes in front of the machine. I remember when I was younger, excuse me, one of the first apartments I had. You know how it is. You're young and broke. There's a bunch of us living in not too much space, you
yep.
know, and everybody smoked cigarettes that lived there, and we all smoked inside. And we shut our fucking computer down. We had one PC in the house, and we shut it the fuck down because we all smoked in front of it, and it got to a point where the fan wouldn't turn. And we opened it up to try to clean it. And like you said, just that film was all over everything. And
Yep.
the shit just didn't work too well. So I don't like to smoke in front of my equipment. My girl also is asthmatic, not severely, you know, it's nothing horrific. Certainly was when she was younger, but so I don't smoke cigarettes around her in close proximity, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. None of these things have gotten me to the point where I can quit. So I don't know how many more cards I need to stack against myself.
Seriously, dude, the only thing that helped me quit was weed.
You know, I made some progress trying to do it that way one time. And maybe we talked about this before. I remember oh shit, it had to be 4 or 5 years ago now. My mother had a heart attack, and heavy smoker, heavy drinker. Uh can't take the weight off, eats too much, all these things, you know what I mean? About to have type 2 diabetes. So when she had a heart attack, I'm there at the hospice in San Antonio, and they're at the hospital, and they're telling her about it, and they're going, look, you have to stop smoking today, right now. And she didn't want to, and blah, blah. I go, okay, look, if you will fucking quit smoking, I'll quit smoking too, right? Now, we didn't even live in the same city, so we had to trust each other on the honor system. So after that, when I went home, I quit smoking cigarettes. I quit for about 6 months. And I'll tell you, I did not save not one goddamn dime because I spent so much more money on weed during that time. It more than compensated for what I was spending on cigarettes. And then 6 months later, you know, I go to see my mom. And when I get up to her place, she's sitting on the front porch with a beer and a cigarette right in front of her fucking house. Like, what the hell am I doing here? If she's out there enjoying herself and not worrying about it, and I'm back there hating life because I can't fucking smoke. So I picked it back up. I really would like to drop it, especially now that like my voice is an asset to me. You know what I mean? It's a big part of my business now, what with the being able to talk. So I kind of would like to not completely shred my throat if I can, but you know, what can I say? I've been smoking cigarettes for more than 20 years. It's it ain't easy. And every time because I kind of try to taper off, you know, when I'm at the house during the week and all this, and I just work most of the time, I can try to supplant it with smoking weed, or I'll just like pace around my house for a couple of minutes and try to avoid smoking a cigarette, and I'll do okay. And by the end of the week, I'm like, man, I've only smoked a half a pack yesterday. I can bring it down. I can bring it down. I can bring it down. And then I'll do something real dumb. Like, oh, we'll do the Friday Power Hour. And then I'll be like, all right, Phil, let's go to the bar, watch the end of the game. And I'll smoke 12,000 cigarettes while I'm drinking. You know what I mean? And then I'm right back where I was. So I don't know. Maybe 60 or 70 years from now, I'll be able to figure it out.
I'm one of those dumbasses that misses smoking cigarettes. So if I go around my friends, that's like my friend that smokes, I have to fight myself because I know for a fact that even if I just have one, because she lives like 3 hours away from me, right? So I don't get to see her very often.
Yeah.
I know if I just have one at her place, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna be wanting to buy a pack. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, nope, don't do it. Just don't freaking do it. Ugh.
Wow. Yeah. It's It's tough, man. I hope that I can give it up within the next year or so, particularly as things progress with the cartoon. But I'm old enough now to admit that it's partially addiction, but for me, it's the ritual as much as it is anything else. You know what I mean? Smoking cigarettes is so social. It's like we're like a bunch of little girls going to the bathroom. One person smokes a cigarette, everybody got to go out there and smoke a cigarette too. It's just it's a very social interaction, and you need that state break too. I'm sitting in front of big fucking screens that are blinding me all goddamn day, every day. I gotta get up and go do something else for a minute. You know what I mean? And when all I have is my work, the only thing I have to do is fucking smoke cigarettes. So it's not working out great, but I'll figure it out eventually, man.
So I've got an interesting news story for us to look at.
All right.
It's a very interesting little tidbit here. So in Canada, we celebrate Remembrance Day.
Celebrate what day?
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance?
Kind of like Veterans Day.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Wait, Canada doesn't have a military.
Oh, we do.
I'm just kidding.
We do have a military. So we celebrate on November 11th. We celebrate Remembrance Day. So the 11th of November, obviously the end of the First World War. So there is a school in Manitoba, which is a province in Canada.
Right.
There was a suggestion, apparently, of one of the choir directors that maybe they should wear a rainbow poppy because the symbol of the Remembrance is a red poppy.
Okay.
To symbolize the poppies that grew, the blood red poppies that grew on the battlefields.
Okay.
Right. Basically, at the end of the war, there is a very popular poem that is still recited in Canadian schools called "In Flanders Fields," written by a Canadian medic who served in the First World War. And he basically wrote about the poppies that were growing amongst the dead soldiers.
In Flanders Field, they were poppily doodly?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So, but amidst this whole, everything should be inclusive, some teacher decided perhaps maybe we should wear rainbow poppies. Now, this was not a mandate. This is not like you must do this, right? But it was it was bandied about. The idea was bandied about, and a student, a high school student, was very upset about this, right? So she started collecting, she went and did some research, and got some tweets and some comments about people not being okay with this, and started and she typed up a letter talking about her opinion, and started posting this at her school. You can see where this is going.
Yeah, I can take a guess.
So as she was posting these up, they were being taken down and taken to the office. And she gets called to the office and nailed by yelled at by the vice principal and principal about, how dare you post these up here? This is hate speech. And she's like, well, I'm just trying to express my opinion about, I don't think this should even be an idea
Yeah.
I think, and she tried to record the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They took her away
Mm-hmm.
and suspended her until after Remembrance Day. So next Tuesday. So she got suspended yesterday
for saying that we should keep it like it was.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow.
And
Okay. Well,
so yeah, she's been suspended and she's not allowed back to school until the day after Remembrance Day.
Jesus, unbelievable. Well, first things first, if a specific type of flower grew out of a battlefield afterwards, keeping that flower to what it was is at least mildly important to the symbology that's derived from it. And I kind of doubt that these descendants of guys that died in World War I would be real happy about suddenly a symbol they've clung to for generations being switched over to serve some kind of contemporary social or political gains that somebody wants. What's very unfortunate about situations like this is a lot of these people who just want to impose their will on everybody have really set up a system, and we've let this become socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Where if you argue their point at all, it becomes because you how to phrase this, it's like the assumption of an ad hominem, if that makes sense, right? So if you were to tell me, okay, so let's say that I want it to be a red poppy, and you come in here and tell me you want it to be a rainbow poppy, and I say no, I want it to stay red. Well, now you're forcing. If it was an ad hominem, I'd say I want it to stay red because I don't like you because you're gay. Now that's not what any of these people are saying, but people that create those opinions often set it up so that they're forcing that ad hominem on people, whether it's actually there or not. There's often a feeling that people set these things up so that if you disagree with them at all, you're proving their point, and that's only possible if it's socially acceptable to assume that everybody's opinions are driven by whatever darkness lurks in the hearts of men. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not really phrasing this great, but it evokes that same feeling. I can feel the dirtiness on me when I hear stories like that. I wish I had I feel like there's a phrase for this in French or something that we don't know about that describes this situation where somebody puts an opinion out and anybody that agrees with them gets socially ostracized for an ad hominem they didn't create, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah. It's even
I wish I could
better.
describe that better, man.
Well, get this.
It's too early.
This girl who got suspended is the cousin of a member of parliament, a conservative member of parliament who tried, or she is no longer a member of parliament. She ran in the federal election. She unfortunately did not win her seat. But she was still this is still the cousin of a conservative party member. It's like,
and of course, so they force it to be a partisan issue when it is not. You know what I mean? It's creating these false. It's almost like there's people that want to create these false intangible lines of division just so that they can tell you they're on the short end of the straw, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You need to create if all the glass ceilings are broken, you have to make a new one to be under so you can still get those fucking oppression points. Or again, it's too early. I'm describing everything very poorly right now. I'm sorry.
You're doing a pretty good job, actually. You're doing pretty good for somebody who's waked and baked and
right. I just rolled out of bed and smoked a bowl, and I'm trying to figure it out. Maniac Man with an orange sign says it's Kafka-esque. That's not unreasonable. That's not an unreasonable description. It's just God, it creates a scenario where you can't, where disagreeing is morally wrong. It's not just trying to take the moral high ground, it's putting it in a situation where a singular opinion becomes the only moral, and thus any dissension is a lack of morality. And then it's easy to force all kinds of things onto people who are presumed to lack morality, right?
Exactly.
Which both sides, if you want to even say both anymore, all 17 sides of politics do. Anyway, everybody's very quick. Once people get into this whole team sports thing, it becomes it very quickly moves to a situation where you go, okay, anybody that disagrees from this direction, you assume that they now agree with everybody that's on that side or coming from that direction, and that's not necessarily true at all. So here, to apply that to this situation, somebody whose grandfather was in World War I and they've got red poppy shit all over their house. You know what I mean? They've got pins or shirts. They have a frame, but they have a fucking Velvet Elvis painting of their great grandfather holding a poppy under the moonlight or whatever the hell it is that they have. And then, so they just want to preserve that memory of somebody that served their country. Okay, that seems like something very patriotic to do. I don't care what country you're from. Sounds normal to me. And then people come in and force a situation where the people that are preserving that memory are now you turn them into somebody of poor moral fiber. I was going to say criminal, but I guess that's not accurate here, but you know what I mean. You cast them in a negative light without them having done anything different. And by placing them in a perception where it looks like they have low morals or incorrect morals, according to whoever, now you can associate them with everything negative that you want to associate them with. And that's very often not true at all. So the unfortunate part about stuff like this is when you create that false ad hominem for people to just fall into the trap. That's all it is, a fucking punji stick trap. Oh, you step on this stuff, whoop, you fall through. Oh my God, it went right through my kidney. You had no fucking idea. But because they're able to put you in a box where now suddenly you're a bad person, they can associate everything bad to people that are on that side of the coin. And the issue there is that it just creates a boogeyman. And a boogeyman is always profitable. I think that's the thing that's what little kids don't know about monsters under their bed. If you could make children understand macroeconomics, they would understand that a monster under the bed is necessary because of profit margins, man. You know what I mean? And whether you want to detail profit in dollars or clicks or just fucking PR or whatever the fuck it is, however people want to quantify success these days, a lot of that is driven by maintaining that moral high ground. And the only way to do that is to place somebody below you. Okay, so not only do you need to create a false glass ceiling so that you can still label yourself as oppressed by something. You also want to take that same boogeyman and put him under your bed as well, right? That creates a situation where you're squeezed in to this little slice of the pie, and then people go, oh man, where'd all this class warfare come from? And you know, we act like we don't know what happened. It's us. We did this to ourselves, and it's shit like this. What bothers me and what's making me go on this whole tirade in the first place is I can almost guarantee you nobody that's saying we should keep it a red poppy is saying so because they have a problem with gay people. Nope. I really, really doubt anybody is saying that, but I can almost guarantee you as well that the people who want to change it to a rainbow one are saying anybody who doesn't want to do this is a bigot. Okay, so what have they done? They've created a bed that they're essentially a pheasant under glass with a monster under their bed. You know what I mean? That's what everybody wants to be. And here they've done that expertly because it's so fucking ingrained.
And the kid is a monster under the bed now.
Of course. Oh, yeah. You got to push them kids out in front of you because everybody goes, fuck kids. Now we can't do anything. Shit.
Goddamn teenagers.
I know. Oh, damn it. She said stolen everything. Fuck, we lose. Fuck.
Well, and it's actually the Legion, the Canadian Legion, has, I don't know if you guys have legions down in the States for veterans.
The American Legion? Yeah, we do. Yep.
But we, the
They are
Canadian media,
shitty bars.
yeah, well, yeah, same here.
Right.
But they have actually trademarked the poppy. So even if this was a thing that took,
Right.
flight,
Right. So that would be
they,
something the civilians would do. The military cats already got their shit covered.
the military cats are like, fuck you, you can't touch the poppy. It's
Yeah,
trademarked,
yeah.
asshole.
No shit.
Right?
Wow.
So even if this was like, this is not even a feasible idea. It was just some teacher being virtue signaling
Yeah.
and
And
some intelligent teenager going, hey.
right. But and God, even us here on this show, look at what we're doing. We're taking an opinion that is extreme, like this lady changing the poppy symbol, and
Yeah.
we're assuming that that is the norm. It's not, but we do it, and people from all sides do that to all other sides. You take the most extreme opinion from the side you perceive to be your opponent, and you treat that as if it's the norm. That's not the case, but we certainly do it, man, for sure. We're doing it now, I don't know. It's very crazy to me, but then all that tells me is that if even, me and you sitting here talking, we're not here with any kind of partisan agenda. We're not here to like defame anybody that's doing all these things. And yet still we're falling into that same system where we take an extreme opinion and force it to be the norm and then act accordingly based on that shit. If we're doing that here, I can't imagine the people that actually have a fucking plan, how often they're doing that. And then you look out there on Twitter and everybody's going, oh my God, the world's gone crazy. And everybody on insert opposing team is all crazy. And we need to get rid of all of them. And everybody who doesn't agree with me is brainwashed and retarded and all of these things. Well, it's because in a lot of these situations, we've taken extreme opinions from our opposition and forced them to be the norm when that is not at all the case. So like you're saying, the number of people that are trying to change this symbol into something rainbow related is probably very small. Yeah. My question is, are we overkilling it by treating an extreme opinion like the norm, or are we being careful not to start down a slippery slope, even though you guys are in Canada? It's already slippery up there, huh? Ice covered forest joke.
I saw what you did. I saw what you did there.
But you know what I'm saying, man? Like, at what point is it a good preventative measure to take notice of extreme opinions, even when they're shared by a very small number of people? And at what point are you just, again, putting a monster under your bed,
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to, even when you have extreme opinions like this, to just kind of bring them out and like not make them the norm, but to say like, hey,
sure,
look at this ridiculousness.
Right. I think you're right. I think we just have to remember to point the dirty end of the stick, what it actually should be pointing at. We often have a tendency to paint with a very broad brush, to use a simpler analogy than everything I've been talking about the last 20 minutes. But you take, it would be very easy for me to say, oh, this one broad wants to change the red poppy to rainbow. That's because all these facts are crazy. You know what I mean? That's a huge leap in logic to make. So as long as we're conscious of where we fall on that scale, you know what I mean? Then maybe we mitigate that problem. But I worry about it a lot because so many people are so fucking angry about things that ultimately are very minute. We act like any public opinion is suddenly policy, and that certainly is not the case. I think we're still somewhat culture shocked by our own technological achievement, if that makes sense. For instance, people are like, oh my God, there's gay people and Nazis and racists and Scientologists, and there's a bunch of Mormons that we didn't know. All these extreme opinions are new. Where did this come from? Bullshit. None of this is fucking new. These people didn't wake up one day and join a gang. They've all been there the whole time. The difference is now we have fucking Twitter. You know what I mean? So everybody has an opinion and everybody thinks they're important. Guess what? Nobody is. But again, we take an extreme opinion that we find right? We act like that is the norm. Why? Because we want to put that monster under our bed. A monster under the bed equals profit, man. And people know that internally. Small children know that. Small children know about the pheasant under glass, monster under bed new analogy that I'm coining today that maybe will make sense by about 3:00 this afternoon.
I was gonna say, this sounds like a sermon, dude. You should come up with a sermon about how there's always a monster under the bed.
Yeah,
but it's
maybe
okay because
right.
You gotta have the profits somewhere.
There it is, man. Well, that's my new profit. That's my new thing of the day is the monster under the bed fallacy, I guess.
Speaking of monsters under the bed, apparently Health Canada has decided that, get this is not a mistype, detoxing vagina products.
Wait, is it vaginas that do the detoxing? Or
no, the products that you stick in your vagina to detox your vagina, because apparently that's something you need to do, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with having a shower.
Yeah, I mean, if you bathe properly, I feel like you shouldn't have toxic vagina syndrome.
Yeah, just like, have a shower, if you still bleed, take care of that shit on the regular. Don't leave it in there. Like what's so hard about this?
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds very strange. Like girls that get endless urinary tract infections, or they get toxic shock syndrome or whatever. It's like, are you not bathing? Are you not bathing? What's happening here? How did it get to that point? But again, maybe your vaginas aren't as toxic as they say. Maybe that's the monster they're putting under your bed so they can sell you something.
Yeah, because they're talking about goddess vaginal detox pearls.
Oh, wait, say that one more time.
Goddess vaginal detox pearls.
Hey, Blind, you want to start a band called Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls?
I actually kind of do.
Hell yes. I'm in for the fucking... Okay, I played guitar in my last band. I'm going to play synth drums in this one.
Nice. Nice. I like that. I think we've got something here.
But just to kind of wrap it up on the rainbow pen thing, it's real interesting to me to look at how people are able to use the self-imposed glass ceiling to keep the attention on them. For instance, and we might have talked about this already before. My sister's gay. The lady she's married to, they live in Florida. But we do see each other now and again, and we saw each other. Oh, it was the last funeral, my uncle's funeral, at the beginning of the year, and we were talking about this and that, and I remember her going, "Man, I'm so sick of hearing about gay rights and gay marriage, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "It's just rights. It's just marriage." I go, "Damn, might be the smartest fucking thing you've ever said, man." Is it necessary once the goal is achieved? Okay, and I'm sure you know this already. There's always kind of a moving goalpost with some of this social outrage stuff. Once you get what you want, you just move it to the next thing that you want. Okay, so if the goal was marriage equality, and I get that not in all places, and I understand there's still some distance to make happen there, but is it not a worthy exercise for us to normalize things that are normal, or that we at least are trying to get perceived as normal, right? Like my sister's married to a woman, but she hates the term gay marriage because she's just married. She didn't get gay married. She just got married. And I totally agree with that, man. Just let it be what it is. If things get to the level that you want it to, does that mean we're done? We don't have to shove rainbows into every fucking little thing we possibly can. I mean, if it were me, I gotta tell you, if I were gay, I can't imagine having to stare at the number of fucking. I see the number of fucking rainbows they're shoving down my throat. I can't imagine if I was actually part of that community, the amount of fucking rainbow you have to look at all the fucking time. That is a really fucking annoying set of colors to have to look at constantly. You got to get tired of shoving that up your own ass eventually, I would think.
I would imagine so. Like, and especially like if you've, if you're an actually, like sensible gay person or trans
and most
person,
again, we're taking extreme opinions and making them normal, and that's not the case. 90% of that community, I guess, they're just regular people like everybody else.
Most of the trans and gay community would look.
But then you have sexy vegan and
freaking Yaniv.
Oh my god, how is that dude always making the same face? I feel like maybe it's not an actual person. Maybe this is all CG, like Will Smith. Will Smith died 10 years ago. That's been a CGI model for quite a while now.
Yeah. Well, that's why his voice always sounds the same now too, right?
Oh yeah, all of his dialogue is just samples from Fresh Prince, man. Nah, you know what I mean? That's all they need.
Damn. Oh hell no.
Right.
Oh man. So these things, speaking of monsters under the bed, Health Canada has banned the sale of a natural healthcare product. Healthcare. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Marketed as a way to detox vaginas following an investigation by CBC's Marketplace. Now, Marketplace is a pretty it's a part of CBC News, which they go and investigate shady businesses and like company policies.
Okay. I think that would be equivalent to what we would call the Better Business Bureau.
No, it's a news thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got you.
It's like I don't know if there's an American equivalent to it, but they
like a consumer report type thing.
Yeah,
something. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Investigative reporting. They broadcast their finished result, like finished product, on the CBC channel.
Okay.
So they did, like, I guess, an in-depth investigation on these.
They looked at a bunch of dirty pussies, and now they've got news for you.
I guess so.
Oh, wow.
So it says Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls are.
Guys, we're going on tour this fall. Going on tour. New album's coming out, man.
Yes. They are small herb-filled balls that are inserted into the vaginal canal through the use of a plastic applicator. Oh.
So it's like a tampon full of basil? Ooh. That doesn't sound right.
So it says instructions recommend keeping them inserted for up to 48 hours.
Oh my god. I don't think now by all means correct me if I'm wrong. I don't personally own a vagina unless you want to count the girlfriend, but I don't think you're supposed to leave anything in there for 48 hours.
No, you are not. The absolute longest a tampon instruction says to leave a tampon in for is 6 hours.
Wow. I and I didn't even think of it. How do they piss during that time? Like,
well, it goes through the canal, not through the.
Oh, it goes okay.
Through the clit,
it's not like a cover.
It's you're literally loading your applicator full of these balls and just basically shoving these balls up your pussy.
I see. Ooh, God.
Yeah. So, and you're supposed to leave them there for 2 freaking days.
Ooh.
Apparently.
Oh.
No. So it continues on to say the company advertises the pearls will help to promote overall vaginal health and help with painful menstrual cramping. Yeah, because your menstrual cramps happen in your pussy. You fucking retard.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds right.
Your
either, man.
uterine contractions, you dumbass.
Yeah, isn't that right? Again, I don't personally own the equipment, but I feel like I'm reasonably familiar. That doesn't sound right at all. And I hate vague medical like that. That's right up there with removes the toxins. What toxins? You know what I mean? Somebody give me the chemical formula for a toxin. If you can't quantify, then it doesn't make sense. And what did that say? It was supposed to improve vaginal health. What the fuck does that mean?
It's supposed to keep your vagina overall in a state of health.
There's no quantification of what it does there. I don't trust that.
No. So it says it also helps with the smelly odor, dryness, regulating menstrual cycles after getting off birth control, and vaginal reconnection.
Reconnection to what?
I don't know. Sorry, my vagina's Wi-Fi isn't working.
Right. Somebody unplug it and plug it back in. It doesn't work.
Oh my God.
Well, and when you said the words vaginal reconnection, my brain imagined that like the cervix was like a a bitch clamp. You know what I mean? That the vagina came disconnected from the uterus. That doesn't sound right either. That is not going to work. You can't fix a partial hysterectomy with herbs, man. It's not going to work.
So it then says Health Canada has previously advised Canadians about the risks of buying natural health products online. Well, no shit. That have not been assessed for safety.
Do you guys have an FDA?
Well, yeah, we do.
Okay, right. So, like, if it's not approved by them, that's your first warning sign right there. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but take it with a grain of salt. This whole thing makes no fucking sense to me, man.
Well, I don't know why women would fall for this shit.
Why don't you just tell them to drink water? Drink more fucking water. I think that's gonna fix a couple of those things, especially stuff related to like smells and UTI and dryness. Stay hydrated. Be closer to the whale. You'll have better pussy too. Like
get entangled, for Christ's sake.
Fucking Christ, we're not asking a lot here, guys. Goddamn.
So it says these pearls were actually not authorized for sale in Canada. So this company broke the law.
Wow.
It says in a statement, the federal regulator told Marketplace that it contacted Goddess Detox, and the company agreed to remove Canada as a shipping destination on its website. That's it?
Wait a minute. So this is an international pussy emergency, man.
Yes, this is. I wonder if Gwyneth Paltrow has anything to do with these people.
Oh boy, what was the website on it? I want to see what countries they do ship to.
Let's see. It doesn't give the website, but it says Goddess Detox is the company.
Right, Goddess Detox Pearl something. GoddessDetox.org. Wow, they're a .org even.
Oh boy. That's not suspicious at all.
Yeah. So one full cleanse. Oh my God, these things are more disgusting looking than I imagined. Oh, this is just, why did they do this little photo shoot? Ugh. Okay, well, they're $33 a piece. That's gross.
Oh my God.
Okay, how can I put one in the cart? Okay, if anybody else is looking at this, and here, I'll put the link in the fucking chat. But
yes, do that.
Just looking at this format right here. Here, let me put it in there. Oh, I can't. Can you give me a wrench? So I
Oh
can
shit.
it down.
Post your put a period or something in
I did.
chat. Where are you here? There you are.
I'm gonna write pussy
Add
emergency.
moderator. There
Wait,
you go.
international pussy emergency. Okay, there we go. So there's the link. Now you'll notice it's one long thin page. At the first, it's got at the top, it's got the product, and then it's a ton of little testimonials and videos. This is not a reputable marketplace page. This is more like a corporate lead capture website. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a tripwire website. On all these reviews here at the bottom, most of this shit is fake. This is all crap, man. This is a scam. This is a scam. I would not recommend this product. I don't even see how I can add to cart so I can look at the shipping options. Yeah, this is not good. Well, let me go to refund policy and say, oh no, there's a thing that says video instructions.
Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God.
Let me scroll through there. Oh no, there's a little string to unwrap. So it's like a tiny little tampon. They're selling Cherokee hair tampons. That's all this is. That's all the fuck this is. Oh no, you can use coconut or olive oil to lube the top of the applicator for easy insertion. Don't put olive oil in there. You're worried about smells and you're putting olive oil in there? That don't sound right.
Oh.
Okay. Well, you can use Amazon Pay, Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal. Oh, wow. They have fake notifications pop up while you're on the website that say, hey, someone in this city just bought one. Hey, someone in this city just bought one. Hey, someone in this city.
Oh, wow.
This is shady as fuck, dude. Okay, here we go. Here's their top product. Here's their top product, Queen's Vaginal Stream and Queen's Throne combo. Herbs and vaginal seat?
What?
Holy shit. Okay, so they also sell a bowl of hot soup that you sit on that steams up the puss. Look at this thing. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm not high enough for this shit.
No, I'm not. Okay, finally, here we go. Add to cart. $65 fucking dollars.
$55?
65.
Oh my God.
Okay.
American?
So, yes, indeed. All right. So I want to place order.
Oh,
okay,
God.
now it's asking for my information, which obviously I don't want to give it. I just want to I want to look at their shipping.
Oh yeah, see where they're shipping to.
Shipping. Okay, here we go. Country and region. Oh shit, it's fucking everybody. It's literally everything but Canada. Holy Christ. Yeah, I mean, it's so big that it's in alphabetical order. Afghanistan, Islands, Albania, Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Anguilla, Antigua, Argentina, Armenia, Aruba, Australia, Austria, Azerbaijan, it's fucking everything. It's everything but Canada. Guys, this is a worldwide pussy emergency right now. I gotta go back to looking at this bowl of hot soup. What the fuck is that about? Oh my God. I feel like I may have to. You know what, Blind? You might have just broke a new case, dude. You just blew this case wide open. International pussy I haven't been making much progress on the Great Ape Escape. I got a stream removed by the BBC for talking about orangutans. So maybe this will be my new one. Goddess Detox. Oh boy. I'm going to save this tab. That is not good. Even the bowl that you put the soup in looks like a puss. They made it look like a puss, man. It's like a George O'Keeffe painting in here. God damn. Okay. All right. I'm going to calm down on that. I got myself all excited. That's very frustrating.
Oh, this is...
Blind, I hate to say it. I'm glad you didn't have to see this, man. That's not good.
I'm going to throw up, says Missy M. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's not good. That looks bad. That looks like a fucking scam.
No, Fright Supremacy. Ghastly is not Canadian. He's Texan.
That's the opposite of Canada.
I want to know what the nasty thing is. I want to know what nasty thing it is that comes out, says Missy M.
Comes out of the puss or out of the soup?
What? Yeah, after you've detoxed, what comes out?
Oh God! Quantify a toxin. Ooh.
Steamed clams. Oh God.
Oh, steamed hams. Oh, and now that I'm returning to the website, it has a pop-up. I can get 11% off by becoming a hashtag Goddess Detox Bay. Sign up below. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Twitter and search for Goddess Detox Bacon and Eggs. All right. None. Literally not one of those hashtags on Twitter. All right, fine. I'm gonna look on Instagram. Don't think I won't do it. Hang the fuck on, puss soup. I'm gonna find these broads. I'm gonna find out who's buying this thing. Because if that tag doesn't exist on any platform, literally nobody has bought one of these yet.
Really?
It can't be. Nobody's using it. If you can't find evidence of a customer, meanwhile, they've got pop-ups trying to tell you someone's buying one every 3, 4, 5 seconds. Nah, I don't buy it. Goddess, Detox, Bacon, and
Big
eggs.
Golgotha. The Golgotha comes out. Yes.
Right.
That's
okay. On Instagram, there is 100+ posts, but they're all from @Goddess Detox. I'm trying. Let me see if I can find one from a customer. No, this is all just their marketing crap.
Wow.
Yeah, not one from a fucking customer that I'm seeing. They're all from the actual account. This is a total scam. They're trying to scam your puss right into submission, man. We cannot allow this.
And I don't understand why Health Canada needed to even say to women,
right,
these are like, if you go to that website, you'd like just listening to how you've described it.
Yeah, who's following?
You should just take a look at that and go, like, what makes you look at that website and go, yeah, I want to put that at my pussy.
Ugh, I know, dude. Okay, so here's the frequently asked questions.
Oh boy.
On the Queen's Steam and Throne. This is the soup that you sit on.
Right.
Oh my God. Just the verbiage here is not good. Why should this not be used while pregnant? Steaming may harm your developing baby. There's a name for this product. It really is steamed puss. You can Super Nintendo Chalmers your whole shit down there. This is not good. Oh my God. Being on hormone replacement therapy or facing kidney disease are factors that may negatively impact with one of the herbs in our steam. I'm so glad there's not a diagram on here. How long should I wait to steam after giving birth, miscarriage, or abortion? You should wait at least 2 months to steam. God, quit using steam as a verb for your fucking puss soup. And make sure you do not have any internal cuts. Oh my God. If you want to steam earlier after giving birth, please ask your midwife or doula. Do you get a lot of internal cuts?
Well, when you give birth,
you're not supposed to masturbate with a mace, dude.
Well, you're not supposed to have any penetration for 6 weeks after you give birth.
Right. That sounds right.
After you give birth, you bleed for almost that amount of time.
Especially if they do a what you call it, episiotomy. You know what I mean?
That doesn't bleed. They stitch that up right quick. They either stitch it
that
or
heals quick. Okay,
that heals pretty quick, but the bleeding is literally 4 to 6 weeks.
I believe it, man. I mean, everything's been kept in all that time. It's got to flush all that shit out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you should never want to steam your pussy anyway.
I don't think so. Didn't it wouldn't it make your fucking labia wrinkly? Would you get prune hands on your lips? Ugh.
Like, and you could
Your clit would look
seriously
like a
burn
raisin.
like, you could burn yourself pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's supposed to be a sensitive area. Maybe don't sit on hot soup. This is not good, dude. And I'll tell you what, the girl that they show talk, I assume the girl that came up with this thing, who probably uses this shit every day, I am not interested in seeing what her fucking vag looks like. Nor would I be interested in trying to get in there. I feel like that thing is tough like a baseball mitt.
Yeah.
Woo. It's
I
not good.
certainly wouldn't want to go down there.
No. Sad. Oh, no. Okay, well, I'm sufficiently disgusted for the morning.
So, do you know of the guy named Mike Rowe from the Discovery Channel?
Is that the Dirty Jobs guy?
That is the Dirty Jobs guy.
Yeah.
So he has put out basically an opinion that I kind of agree with, but I don't know if he can prove it.
Okay.
He says, oh fuck, there's a video playing in my ear. That is not helpful. There is a book that he's written, and he's basically saying that the reason that American kids are in so much student debt is because we've basically taught them that a university education is more valuable and more important than a blue collar job. So alternative education like trade school or apprenticeships have kind of been given the connotation of being only really for low class people.
Right. I'd say that's certainly the case. As far as the value of a college education goes, that greatly depends on what field you're looking to go to. Obviously, you want your neurosurgeon to have been in school for as long as fucking possible. But I think he's absolutely right. There certainly is, at least when I was growing up, certainly a connotation given to manual labor or blue collar labor, or like say trade schools, any of those things, that is a plan B or a last resort, or that is somehow lower than college educated jobs, when that's not, as an adult, you find out that that's certainly not the case in many situations. For instance, my girl has a master's degree and taught for quite a while, does not anymore because unfortunately education pays shit in America, which is a goddamn shame. But you can make more with a skilled trade without any education. When we met and she was teaching full time and I was a fucking video engineer, I was working stage production, I only have a high school education. I made way more than she did at that time. You know what I mean? And that was just a trade skill. I didn't even go to a trade school for. I learned in the field. I started off pushing cases as a stagehand years and years and years ago. And so it's tough to say, because what I don't want to do, what I don't want to do is tell kids, fuck higher education. But man, there's a big part of my brain that wants to. You know what I mean?
No
because
kidding. Especially with the indoctrination of what's going on right now.
God damn, there's so many people in my age demographic that are in monstrous six-figure debt for a degree they can't even use. And there's so many people in the demographic right behind me that are being force-fed a bunch of professors' politics instead of the black and white facts they need to make an informed decision and actually use their education for something. So in 2 consecutive generations, and for completely different reasons, college has largely been rendered obsolete unless you're in like the top 5% of fields that require high-end schooling to make the big bucks. That's your doctors, lawyers, politicians, right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, like I say, I have the words knowledge is power tattooed on me for a reason. I very much value education, and I don't want to tell children not to educate themselves, but goddamn, I want to tell them fuck college because Jesus, it just is becoming expensive daycare. And I mean really fucking expensive.
It
Damn
really
that.
is.
You can
And
learn a hell of a lot from that fucking phone in your pocket if you use it for something other than Tinder. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's true. Like my father finished high school
Mm-hmm.
and became a tool and die maker
Yeah. Tool
and
and die kit.
got an apprenticeship
There you
like right
go.
out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has a basket weaving degree. She has a master's in philosophy.
Right. Well,
And
that's great for educating yourself, but it's not a very applicable skill
no, it's not.
necessarily,
It's
you know.
it's not. And she doesn't even think critically anymore. It's very sad.
Got
she
old and closed the gate, huh?
yeah, she's kind of gone along with the liberal.
You got to not lose your dinosaur, man. You know, got to try to keep your brain open where you can. It's
Yeah.
tough, man, and I'll say too, it's largely passed over. You know, especially when telling children about it. That, like you say, that trade school path, especially far beyond. You know, the high end of what I guess we would call skilled labor. You know what I mean? So guys that have gone through the full tilt on being an electrician. So that's apprentice, journeymanship, and you go through. There's all kind of licensing and all these different things. I mean, these guys had to go through the ringer to get to that point, and they're paid very well for their expertise, and they should be. But maybe the caveat to what Mike Rowe is saying here is that it's not that shit, how to put it? It's not so much that a university is valuable, but higher education is always valuable. Whether
Yeah.
that's a trade or whether, like you say, it's basket weaving or all those things still have value. But is the only value for education to get a better job? No, certainly not. And maybe that's what we lose in translation. That without a certain type of education, you can't get a certain type of job, and that's the only thing that's important. You create this ideal. Fuck, it's the monster under the bed. You create an ideal in children's head that the only important function of education is to get the highest paying job you can get, and thus you're able to create a collegiate system that does more to put people in debt than it does to educate them a lot of times, it seems like.
Maniac Man has a good point. He says the
Mm.
pay is also due to danger,
Yeah.
especially for electricians and plumbers. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Dirty jobs pay well. Trash men are paid very decent. Plus, you're talking about very real benefits that you can't get at a lot of jobs a lot of times.
No.
Whoa, you okay?
Yeah, my eye just did a weird. It you almost had my eye pop out on stream. That would have been
Hey!
bad. My channel would have been fucking.
Oh, wow. You think that's too violent for YouTube? They'd shut you right the fuck down, man.
Well, freaking that happened. Pinkala lost monetization on our first eye cleaning video.
Really? I mean, that's for all intents and purposes a medical video. There's, huh. There's no hazing of the prosthetic or anything, is
No,
there?
yeah, look at you, no eyes.
Right. Come on, man. Wow.
Oh man,
I gotta ask you, man, since we just did Halloween, do you do it up for trick-or-treaters or anything like that, man?
I might have in my younger days, but we've got a lot of like little kids.
Yeah, that might be too
Around.
much. That might be too much,
If
yeah.
we had more of like, if our neighborhood was more of the teenager,
Right.
like we have a few teenagers here, but there are a lot more grade school kids.
Yeah. That's
So
unfortunate, man, because I would think that is awesome and hilarious if I saw that, if you were at a Halloween party, but you didn't put your eyes in, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, how fucking awesome is that, man? But yeah, little kids I don't think they would understand. You're right.
The other thing is that it tends to get really chilly on Halloween in Canada, and like the air really affects like my eye sockets and my
Oh wow, yeah.
and the real eye that's left.
Yeah, I'm sure
So
it's very sensitive in there.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Man,
yeah.
I'm sorry that every time we do a show, I end up asking you 1,000 questions
It's
about eyes.
it's
I'm
totally fine, dude. Because you don't ask you ask actual questions.
just interested
You
to know
don't
more, you know?
you don't ask questions like, oh, let me. I've gotten some doozies like, how do you dress yourself?
What?
As in, like, they don't mean like matching. They mean like, how do you physically put your clothes on?
Come the fuck on, man.
Or
Right, like, how do you get around your house? You mean the place I'm at every day where the layout doesn't change?
yeah,
It's not
I've
like
actually been asked how I get
yeah.
around my house. Do I use my cane at home?
Oh, wow.
No. Why
Jeez.
would I use my cane at home? I live
Yeah.
there. I know it. I got stopped one day walking back um, from class. I was going to the bus stop to go home, and
Mhm.
somebody stopped and asked me how many steps it was to the Uptown Plaza.
Oh, they're assuming you know how to get places by counting the number
Yeah.
of so if someone made you lose count, you could end up in fucking Siberia. Of course.
Yeah. So I'm like, so I'm like, I don't know. Probably a lot. And then she starts walking down the street past me, and I'm like, you're also going the wrong direction.
Yeah. Jeez.
Because she was walking away from where she wanted to go. And I was
You
like,
know
are you testing me? Are you like
I haven't really thought about it before. I know that on okay, so if I'm driving to somewhere and I don't know how to get there, sometimes I will use Google Maps. Google Maps has a voice thing for driving, so it'll be like in a quarter mile, take a right on blah 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 and go to
hmm.
this. Right? It gives you vocal directions, but there is a walking directions mode on there. Can that give you if you were just out walking around in somewhere you've never been? Can it be like, blind, hang a left right here. Here's how you get to the coffee shop or whatever on foot? If you had headphones on or something? I've never thought about that before.
Well, the way I do it is
Uh,
usually a blind person, well, not every blind person has access to this.
well, they're
It's
not
called
all as cool as you, man. Come
well,
on.
it's called orientation and mobility.
Sure.
And sometimes depending on where you are, either they may not have a lot of instructors to cover the amount of blind people.
Ah, of course.
Sometimes,
I'm an idiot. You have something better than that. Of course.
well, so sometimes also it depends like on in the states. Sometimes depending on your state, orientation and mobility is reserved for like school age kids, or if you have a job and you need to learn how to get to your job. Um, Up here, we're a bit more lucky that we don't have to have those requirements.
Right.
If you need orientation and mobility, usually you can apply through the Canadian National Institute for the Blind and get it.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they teach you cane skills, they teach you travel skills,
Mm-hmm.
and they teach you route planning skills.
Huh.
So that eventually, for the most part, you can plan your own route.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of, especially now with the advent of technology, there are a few GPS apps specifically coded for blind people.
Right. Right. Wow.
They work in concert with either Google Maps or Apple Maps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they will give you spoken direction.
Very cool.
Both with cardinal directions and with clock face directions.
Right.
So,
Right.
the one I use is called Blind Square,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a bit costly, but it's worth it.
It's worth it to get
And
the goods on something like that, man.
yeah, and basically with that, I could explore an area that I haven't gone to before.
Very cool.
because it's so in depth. It'll tell you what's around you, like business wise.
So how do they map that? Are there, people that work for that company or whatever that do it like Google Maps, or do they read off of the Google Maps Street View to, like where do they get that information?
I think it's because when you select the navigate
Mm-hmm.
option on Blind Square, it makes you pick. Like for me, because I have an iPhone, it says, "Would you like to use Apple Maps or Google Maps?"
Gotcha. Okay. Right.
And then when you click Google Maps, that's when it starts utilizing the Google stuff to tell you, hey, in a kilometer northeast at 1:00, there is a Tim Hortons.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
That is our distance measurement.
Never heard of it. Oh man, that's awesome, dude. That's super cool that and of course, I'm an idiot for thinking just regular Google Maps would even be good enough. And I see it in the chat. They're right. It's not always, dead on. Of course, they made something specific for the blind that's much better. That's awesome, dude.
Google Maps is pretty good. And you can use it just by itself. I do like to use Blind Square as like an augmentation because it'll tell me what businesses I'm around.
That's super helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Or bus stops. It'll tell me, you have passed a number X bus stop. So it's pretty helpful.
Yeah. Man, I learned something today. Awesome. And it's so early, and I already have learned something. Look at that.
And you might actually get to take a nap if you want, because we've only got about 9 minutes left.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I ate up all of your time asking questions about things I want to know.
No, dude, it's fine. We've been doing good. It's been fun. We talked about monsters under the bed and toxic vaginas and rainbow poppies. And
they're selling them that soup. Why? Oh man, yeah, outstanding. I'm glad I got up to date for this.
And you've got AAA on Sinatra's channel later tonight.
That is correct. That is in about 4 hours. So that is 4:30 local time. I think that's 5:30 for you. Are you Eastern?
That's right. Yep.
There it is. And then tomorrow is the Fright Power Hour. And then, then it'll be off and running for another fucking week.
And that's Fright Power Hour 7:30, right? 7:30 Eastern?
Well, 7:30. We're not always exact. Because I very much force it, or I force because Phil gets to my place Saturday middle of the day, between noon and 2, whatever. And I force myself to not touch the cold open or the stories for that day or anything like that until that day. So I write it fresh. We record it right then, make it right then, find the stories right then. So everything's as up to date as it can be first. And secondly, so that I'm already really stressed out by the time we start the show, which works fine for that type of performance because it's so much yelling and all of these things. So, that kind of becomes ritualistic in a way. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to be sitting here going, shit, yeah, it's Friday. I have my cold opens already in the can. Got all my fucking videos lined up. I'm done. All I got to do is show up to the gig. No, I got to make it as hard on myself as possible.
I barely do compared to your show, I barely do shit. And some days it'll be like 11:30. And I'm like, do I have news? Yeah. No, I should gather some.
Right. Yeah. We end up being a few minutes late.
Yeah, pretty much. It's, some days you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. But I've put your channel, the links to Fright Supremacy and Gulf City in the description for anybody who is not familiar with those. You can catch the Fright Power Hour on the Fright Supremacy channel and the episodes of the Gulf City cartoon over on the Gulf
I
City.
appreciate
and
that. I gotta
there's
ask
the
you
link.
though. I'm looking at the description. Are you doing speech to text?
I might be.
Because it says
Did
golf.
I misspell golf?
It says golf.
Ah, damn it.
GOLF. That's okay.
It corrected it.
I understand.
Fucking
man.
autocorrect.
I know.
Seriously, I won't. There are some. Even when I turn off, because I've been doing much better about dictation and not proofreading.
Oh yeah.
Because that used to be a thing that I would do. Is if voiceover didn't mispronounce the word,
right,
I would assume that it was spelt correctly. Sometimes
right.
it
It kind of sounds right, so you don't think about it. Oh
yeah. But there have been so many misspellings because of that.
Sure.
that I've started going back and reading it. But even when I try to, especially with, I need to go in on my new phone and turn autocorrect off.
Right.
Because I
that
had that off.
autocorrect motherfucker. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had that off on my old phone, and I just got a new iPhone a couple weeks ago, and I keep forgetting to turn off autocorrect, and that's probably what happened. Because I set up the stream on my phone yesterday, so it was like.
Yeah, no worries, man. Hey, and by the way, I'm looking in the description. I just clicked on your GoFundMe. You guys get married?
Yep.
Hey, congratulations,
Getting
man.
married in February, on February 1st.
Very cool.
Yeah.
On a frozen glacial mountaintop.
No, we're getting married inside, thank God. It's too cold for that shit.
Well, very cool, man. Right on. Congrats to the both of y'all. Although, Pink Low, if you're out there, where were you on the spell check, bro?
He usually he would have caught that if he had seen it, so it's all good.
Yeah, no worries, man. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on today. I'm glad to be able to come through and do this show now and again. Thanks, man.
I appreciate you coming out. It's been fun to talk to you again, and
yeah, now
I hope everybody can. Yeah, well, thank you for doing that.
For sure, man.
And I hope everybody will go and watch the AAA meeting tonight with Mr. Ghastly and Sinatra and Uncle over on the Sinatra Says channel.
Yes. Only 4 short hours.
Yes.
That show has gotten ridiculous in a hurry.
It's so funny to listen to you three. It's just
it's good, man. Anything with anything where me and Drunk will work together, it's gonna go off the rails. It's not gonna stay on whatever topic it is. That is for sure. With any like at this point, we need Sinatra to rein it in, man.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that show. I think we've got a good chemical balance there. Working together, the three of us. It's good shit.
And not my job, says Pincolo. No, it's not his job. It's my job.
Well, I would consider it a personal fucking favor, man.
Oh, man. Well, my friends, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I had a great time. I hope, Ghastly, even though it's early, you had fun.
Yeah.
And don't forget to catch those shows that we mentioned. And we will talk to you later. And thanks again, Ghastly. I had a lot of fun.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later, guys. Oh, and Star Trek stream tomorrow. 5 p.m. Eastern. Come watch that, everybody.
Subscribe to this channel so you get notified, you fucks you.
All right. Catch y'all later.